Okay, now I'm going to soothe myself and discuss the entire day. So, my insight is that when. Quit, Pippi. He wants to be having affection right now. Okay, I need to hold this in the right angle because that sunlight is bright right now. So my revelation is that if I do different little things, I can describe how it's making me feel, and then that inspires me with plans. When I was singing the Pinocchio song, there was something very soothing about that song coming into my mind towards the end of the day, because I was like, Pinocchio and the twin stars, and that really seemed to fit very well. But after I sang the song, something didn't quite feel right, because I don't know, I think there's always something that feels better when it's from yourself, I guess. That's what it is. But you can use that stuff, because for one aspect of it, it soothed me, but another one, it like seems like a building block more than it does something to keep. It's like one place, but it's going to take you somewhere else. If I can describe everything accurately and good today. And the same goes with like trying to think of the photographs and come up with ideas. I'm just kind of getting hit with things throughout the day that seem like it's we're actually building something here, so that's good. Let's see. In the idea of it feeling uncomfortable to sing and saying, well, that's because it's someone else's song. Everybody does not get that feeling like I do. I don't think. I haven't noticed that a lot of people can sing other people's songs and feel completely comfortable with that, and I don't. And I don't know why that is, but like I said, it's kind of like I'm on somebody else's territory, and I don't know if it's something that I need to work up the courage to do, or just trust that there's a reason why I feel that way, that I'm meant to do what feels right to myself. And also the fact that I like to tell myself, if you notice, like you have noticed many times in other areas, that you're underdeveloped in some place, which is making you feel bashful, then that should be exciting to you, because that's a place that you can water and grow yourself. It should be really exciting to you. You just got to discover how to do it, like you have with anything else. And and you trust how you're feeling about things, and usually you can get pretty precise going that way. At least that's how it works for myself. What feels good to me to do today? What did I tell myself I would like to accomplish? What is, there's always going to be moments of feeling a discomfort, but I think there's two different kinds of discomfort. I think there's the kind where it's just something that you're not used to doing, so you feel a little bit shy about it. And then there's another kind where you feel like it's not appropriate for yourself. Like, this is something that it's like that's, and you could almost call that sin, but not it's like, it's so precise that you wouldn't say, okay, it's a sin. It's actually a real sin for me to do this. It's like, this just doesn't feel quite right for me to do. It just feels like it's going against my nature, basically. It just, like, I need to figure out another way that sets well with me. And I think that's specific to an individual. But I definitely can notice it about things, that there's some things that if I feel like I have to push myself too hard into being something that does not feel like myself, I'm probably going to rebel against it and try and figure out some other way to do it. And I've had to think about that in a lot of areas, because what we've talked about, it's not just wanting to feel like you're being original and different than everybody else. It's like you don't want to feel like you're an alien. I don't know what other, or a zombie or whatever. You don't want to feel like you're doing something that just isn't you. And that's a skill to learn throughout your life too. You can do something in common with people, but if you want to have it tailored to how you are, then you appreciate yourself, and then you can also appreciate commonalities and diversity in your mate, because you're able to see those bonding things between you in a very different way. It's not at all shallow like you might at first have thought if you just look at it longer and understand what's going on between the two of you. You're just figuring things out. And so I think today was really good. Let me give a recap of everything which occurred. I went to the grocery store this morning. Was there anything out of the ordinary at the grocery store? Not really. I don't think so. It felt like Rin was with me as usual, helping guide me around and talk to me while I was shopping. I did go look at shoes, which I noticed that he had his shoe sticking out in one of his photos. So I noticed that. He had his jacket off his shoulders, and I did my shoulder workout today, so I noticed that was a connection. And that back idea just kind of came out of nowhere, so I believe that we put that together ourselves, and so did the Pinocchio song. It kind of just hit me. The pinky ring is significant to me. About when I see that pinky ring, I think of the rabbit, and when I think of a rabbit, I think of speed mostly. And so when I see that pinky ring, like, I did not rush today, because I thought that I can tell when my hormones start shifting and my appetite changes a little bit, and I could feel in my pelvic area that my period is about to start. So I didn't really rush today, and started doing other things based upon what Rin laid out. And so I don't really know about if the pinky ring went with Pinocchio or if the pinky ring had opposite effect, because the key idea is that if we were trying to hurry up and push through the construction, then these more in-depth ideas that we came up, such as getting the twin star tattoos with our freckles, which I think is a really good idea, with our DIY tattoos. Like, we discussed it in my mind that's like a really big trust building exercise, and to do something with pain and blood. I don't know if a tattoo has any blood. He says it doesn't. But those kinds of relationship building ideas, and then also soothing, like, therapeutic ideas, the star is ours. If we're claiming that those stars, and that's really soothing and really loving, and I love that idea. So there's another lesson in life. Don't always rush to hurry up and finish something, because you don't know what kind of little golden nugget that you're going to get by trying to work through things to give it more of a satisfying experience. So, if I'm still gonna dwell on the pictures that I was sent because I have work to do tomorrow and I want the experience to be satisfying to both of us. And I think it is so far. I think it's been very satisfying. So we're continuing on. And we had a very good moment today with the I love you. I will say what I thought about that too. When there was two things that happened when you said that you wouldn't wish that on your worst enemy. I thought about what I was talking about was saying yesterday, how I could not ever go through what we went to together ever again. Like after thinking about you for so long. And so I thought that was a comforting thought, because you were saying that you wouldn't ever wish that upon me, and you wouldn't ever wish that upon yourself. You wouldn't. And so that was like a hopeful thing that we're going to stay together. But also, I thought of that. I started laughing about that, thinking about you sitting there watching me do all that stuff on the walls, and then how I was singing with the phone next to my head, and so that was a humorous part of it. Like, it was both very sincere and serious, and motivating and connective, but also it made me laugh about the other stuff, because it had, I don't know if I can recap all those thoughts. It might not be as funny if I try to, but I'm sure that you know how I was thinking about that. But I think that's good for today. I appreciate you. Very, very happy. Okay. Nervous Nancy. I love you. We love ourselves. I like saying we love ourselves because it's like, when I was talking to the lawyer in before the court trial, and trying to explain about the voice, or hear how I have heard music in my head, and I was like, I really don't want to have to explain it, but I don't have any bad voice in my head. And the nurse, I guess she was a nurse named Kelsey, said, you talk to yourself. And I was like, that's a good way to put it, because thinking of Ren being a part of myself and saying that I talk to myself, like, completely flipped the way I felt about having to try and describe that. It made it like, okay, he is myself, and that would make me his self, and so a lot of his music makes more sense now. And so instead of saying each other, we say ourself, and it feels a lot better. I think it feels a lot better. So there we have it.